the Clean Cities is an initiative to do what, Carl?
We are a 501c3 not-for-profit that is through the Department of Energy, and our goal here in Indiana is to reduce our dependence on foreign oil and help with air quality. So we promote all of the alternative fuels, and we work on emission reductions, idle reductions with transportation-related projects.
And today's a bit, you know what, let's just go straight to this. You want me to read this, or...
Well, let's talk about it, Jim. I think this is a great day for Indiana. We talk about unity in our state. We talk about some of the things that are going on throughout our state. We are awarding today, and part of our project with the state of Indiana, we applied for a grant, which was an American Recovery Grant with the state of Indiana, with Think Electric Vehicles, and also with various communities here in northern Indiana. And today we are going to be awarding 15 electric vehicles to communities here, not only in northwest Indiana, but throughout northern Indiana. So we've got vehicles going to Angola, Cedar Lake, Chesterton, Crown Point, Town of Dyer, Elkhart, Gary, Hammond, Cherryville, South Bend, Whiting, and then also the city of LaPorte and the city of Michigan City. So we've kind of come east to west, and this initiative really is a great way for not only the unity of these communities coming together, but a great way for us to lessen our dependence on foreign oil.
Where do you make these things?
These vehicles are manufactured in Elkhart.
By
Think Electric Vehicles.
So it's basically its own electric car company, basically.
That is correct. And the batteries are actually produced by another Indiana organization called Interdel. So Interdel is based out of Indianapolis, and so this has been a big initiative in Indianapolis. Indianapolis actually is an EV-ready city. They're getting ready for the Super Bowl, and they've got a variety of electric charging stations already up and running within and around the city of Indianapolis. And so it's our goal not only to work with our state, but it's our goal really to reach out to Chicago, to Michigan, to and Illinois, to really kind of have a corridor. And so within that, we kind of feel like it's we're doing that by reaching out to these communities, and then today at our press event, and this is open to the public. We would invite anybody that would like to come see this and support your local leaders that are going to be accepting these donations. Is the ability to see what these cars and what future technology is going to look like here in Northwest Indiana.
So here it is. We are on the morning of September 21st of 2011, and you're going to be presenting these at the Purdue Tech Center in Crown Point. And I mean, are you not going to present the actual automobile?
Yes, we've got the cars there already.
Oh, okay.
We've got all the paperwork, the title work, the donation agreements between the communities, Think, and the state of Indiana. And so again, we're really proud. We'll be, the mayors, the council people will actually be driving these vehicles from our office.
And so your office is in the Purdue Technology Center.
That is correct, yes.
So you're going to hand these things over to the folks, and they're just going to drive them back to their cities?
That's it. I mean, we've been working on this initiative for quite a few years, and we've been working with the Northern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, Kathy, and trying to bring, again, unity to our communities, and working on different alternative fuel projects. And so these various members of South Shore Clean Cities that had expressed interest in electric vehicles, we had written a grant with the state of Indiana and with Think Electric Vehicles, and so we were the recipient of this grant, and there's actually no charge to any of our communities.
So what do these things look like?
Jim, we got one outside.
Oh, there's one outside.
We have one outside. Very efficient. They go 100 miles on one charge, and again, what we see is that they're two-passenger vehicles, and so hopefully you'll be seeing these vehicles throughout your communities in the listening area. And so we hope to bring not only Think vehicles, but we also hope to announce some of the other electric vehicles that are coming to Northwest Indiana, like the Chevrolet Volt, which is it's not an all-electric vehicle, but the Nissan Leaf, and then the Ford is coming out with an Escape. That'll be a plug-in project. So we're going to announce today that on October 19th we're working with again with our community leaders, working with NERPC, NIPSCO, and we're going to be having a stakeholder summit on October 19th with the IBEW And this is going to be open to the public also. It's just people that are interested in learning about electric vehicles, electric vehicle infrastructure. They'll be able to come to this event and learn more about it.
209-845-1100 if you want to talk to Carl Lissick. He is with South Shore Clean Cities. A big day. Going to be giving away how many cars? 13?
Yes. Actually, we're giving away 15 cars.
15
Yes.
cars today.
Mm-hmm.
And locally, let's look at Cedar Lake, Chesterton, Crown Point, Dyer, Gary, Hammond, Scaraville, Whiting, and LaPorte, Michigan City.
Yes.
There's some other cities across northern Indiana. Let's take a couple phone calls. People want to know what's happening. Also, Kathy Luther is here from NERPC, and we'll talk about NERPC's involvement in just a second. Hey, you're on the air. What are you doing?
Hi, good morning. Good morning. How you doing today? I was wondering, you brought up batteries.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was just wondering if you'd heard what you know about this liquid metal battery. It's a chemical composition with a thermite separating to molybdenum, I think it is, and anandrium.
Yeah.
And it's a new type of battery that's actually, I think it holds a charge like 10, 11 times more than the current.
You know anything about that, Carl?
Well, what I do know is that all of the technology that we're promoting are technology that actually has been approved by the Department of Energy and US EPA, and the technology, Jim, is changing just so rapidly, and what we see is the technology that we're exploiting today will actually look a lot different probably within a year. So there's all new.
They call them metal air batteries rather than fluid, rather than water, like gel batteries
Yes.
are water, and these batteries are mineral. They're mineral.
All right. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think that all of this movement towards electric cars can reduce our dependence on foreign oil?
Yeah.
Why? How's that going to happen?
Well, like if you reduce the general need for the consumption, it has to lower the need.
All right.
I mean,
there you go. I want to leave with that. Kathy Luther with NERPC, Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission. What's your guys' involvement here?
Well, specifically with the vehicles, there's actually a number of opportunities with the federal transportation dollars that we program. There's a category called congestion mitigation and air quality, and it's actually possible for communities to fund either alternative fuel vehicles or alternative fuel infrastructure with this money, but we've had kind of a chicken and egg problem. They don't want to fund communities to put in electric car charging infrastructure if they don't have any vehicles, and they don't want to buy vehicles for people if they don't have that infrastructure. So the advantage of Carl's program is by getting some cars out into the communities when we have the next funding round, it's a lot easier to make these grants competitive. So communities could get high-speed charging stations for, an 80% federal, 20% local match.
Okay, so they're going to drive it around town, and the fire chief's going to go, hey, let me take a spin. And then it's going to run out of juice. Where are they going to charge that baby?
Well, currently, the car comes with a 110 outlet charger, so they'll be able to charge that with any 110 outlet. And so when the battery's fully depleted, it will take about 8 hours for it to fully charge on a 110 outlet. So this can be charged in your garage. It can be charged at any 110 outlet. So that's the luxury of this vehicle, that it comes with its own charger, and that it will allow our communities actually to take these home. They'll be able to use them on a daily basis without having to have the external charging infrastructure.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hey, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? This is a great idea. I like what's going on here with Elkhart getting these new jobs in place. And these electric cars, like 30 years ago, they should have been doing this. And Big George talks about on a Saturday show about electric cars. They got this like mat where you just pull in the garage and you put the electric car under this mat and it just starts charging. I mean, this is wonderful technology, and like I said, we should have been doing this 30, 35 years ago. I'll hang up and listen to you guys.
Thanks a lot. You want to comment on that, Kathy?
Well, I think it's a transition period. We've been gradually, first we started moving a little bit away from the foreign fuel into biofuels like the soy diesel and the ethanol, and so now this is the next step. The advantage, I think, of this is that it completely removes the emissions from the vehicles and moves them to a place where they can be more readily controlled and treated. So the air quality benefits of the electric vehicles are huge.
219-845-1100. Hey, you're on with Kathy Luther and Carl Lissick. What's up?
Yes, Carl, Jed today from Highland.
Good morning.
Good. I've done a lot of investigating, and I've actually went and sat and looked at the Chevy Volt, which is an absolutely beautiful car. Now, that's a hybrid. That's not a true electric, but nevertheless, it's a hybrid. I'm sure you're getting. Well, I know for a fact on a national level and probably a local level, there's always a little pushback in regards to any sort of change. And I know for a fact if I was to get an electric car, that there are certain sacrifices that have to be made. But not being able to pull up, and never have to with that particular vehicle, to pull up to the gas pump ever again, it's very intriguing. It's a huge carrot out there. And there are other charging vessels. You can go upgrade to a 220, and it's a rapid charge. And the great thing about charging overnight is usually the rates are lower at night, so there's an additional savings there. But the first thing I told the salesperson when I was talking to him about it is don't oversell it, because, it's a certain individual that's gonna purchase this car. I mean, somebody like me, I work 11 miles from my home to work. I mean, I'm an ideal candidate, and that's where I've looked at other options. But being in an oil and gas region, there's going to be some pushback, and well, it's just human nature. People don't like change, but I'm definitely 110% for electric, and I'm also investigating solar panels for my home.
Right, you got a good point there. Thanks a lot, Dave. Has there been pushback, or do you foresee pushback, Carl Lissick?
What we perceive is unity. I'll be honest with you, Jim. I think there's a place for all of our fuels. Gasoline and diesel fuel will never go away. And so we think there's a place, there's enough out there. So anything that we can do as a region, as Indiana, to reduce that dependence, it's all about education. It's all about change. And, we as Americans, we want choice. And so this is just another choice to put in that repertoire. So, I mean, as the caller had said, he's 11 miles for work. That's a perfect application for electric vehicle. For someone that's going to be taking electric vehicles, to Indianapolis, right now our infrastructure is not there. These cars are not made to go more than 100 miles, these current cars, but the Chevrolet Volt is, the Nissan Leaf that's coming on. So again, 2 or 3 years from now, the whole technology of batteries, of electric vehicles is going to look a lot different. And again, we as working here in Indiana, we see this as an economic development perspective, is that we want to see some of these manufacturers come to Indiana, and again, partnering with our leaders, our business leaders, with NERC, with NIPSCO, with the Indiana commerce groups, with the state of Indiana governor. We see this as change, and so if we can ready ourselves for electric vehicles and other alternative fuels here in northern Indiana, and again, there's an article about U.S. Steel in the paper today about their switch to natural gas, and so again, a major employer here in northern Indiana, that was a major step for them, and they've been doing this for many years, and so again, they're one of our partners, and we're very proud of those things. However, we just haven't been able to talk about it. So again, there's many stories like that, and that's the whole reason about doing this radio show, is we really want to complement the groups that are doing a lot of the right things, and that's why we have Kathy on the show today to really talk about some of the great things that NERC is doing, throughout Lake LaPorte and Porter counties, and so we're very proud of where we live, what we do, but we do think that moving forward it's change, it is education, but there's enough out there for all of us to work together.
That's Carl Lissick speaking. He's the head of South Shore Clean Cities. It's a big day. South Shore Clean Cities is giving away 15 electric cars today at 11 a.m. at their office in the Purdue Technology Center on Connecticut, south of Crown Point there. And they're going to give them away to these communities, and they're going to drive them home today. And those communities, once again, there's 15 cars. I'll just mention the ones in our listening area: Cedar Lake, Chesterton, Crown Point, Dyer, Gary, Hammond, Cherville, Whiting, and Michigan City. Also, they're going to hand these things out today.